Hi pre-dents, welcome back. I promised in my last video, and I'll link it here, that I would show you guys what the Dental School Explorer looks like and why I recommend it. They used to have this thing, ADEA or ADEA. I'm always confused as to how to say it, but they used to have just this guide, which is the official guide to dental schools, and I think I bought that one back in 2015, and then I hadn't purchased it again, or I purchased it in 2016, but it was for 2015. And they used to have like an electronic guide of that book and then the printed book. And so this year what they started doing was having two different things, where you have an explorer, which allows you to just really filter what you want to see with schools, and you have the actual book. And there's a benefit to both. I kind of miss the fact that they had an electronic guide of this book, just because it's really good for information and little tidbits and profiles of other students that you might want to see. And also because this book has a lot of info as far as, just rates of a lot of things that you might want to see. Either way, the Dental School Explorer has everything you're going to need. This one just has some extra information. You can purchase the book, which is kind of pricey. I think for the book, it is $40. And I'm not sure if that includes shipping, to be honest. And then you have the actual Dental School Explorer, which is $25, I think. Yeah, $25. And then you have the bundle. And then the bundle is $50. So if you wanted to get both and get like an idea of everything that I just told you about, then you could get both. I personally, since I had already seen my old version of the guidebook, all I needed for the application cycle was the Dental School Explorer guide. And really, by the time the Dental School Explorer guide had come out, because they were still developing it, I already had my list. I've already known for a while what schools I was really, really interested in based on, presentations I had seen by them, virtual fairs, and just getting out there and speaking to schools and seeing presentations from the pre-dental club. So I would recommend that you use this along with, well, not the bundle necessarily, but I recommend that you use this along with other resources, and then you guys visit pre-dental days and stuff like that. So when you go in to purchase, you're going to see this window pop up, and this, I know it looks like you're shipping I don't know what, but it works, trust me. And then they send you an email, and with the email, they'll send you the link so that you can access the directory. And I really recommend that you guys just use this, use YouTube, use your pre-dental club, and definitely anything that schools that you're interested in offer, so that you can already start getting a feel for what the mission of the school is. Okay, so this is the Explorer. It'll show you all of this, and it shows you that there are 76 dental schools. And remember, I think this also includes the Canadian schools. They're in this directory as well. So we don't have 76 dental schools, but there are 76 dental schools in total in North America. We don't have 76 dental schools in total here in the US, but there are 76 dental schools available in the US and Canada. So you can go ahead and already see that they have like the running list here that you can scroll through, and you can see it available, as you need. What's amazing about this Explorer is that you can filter it based on what you want to see. So let's say that you're one of those people that just believes that you cannot leave your state school. You're close to home, close to family, you love your weather, or you just feel uncomfortable leaving your state. So you can pick any of the states that you would like. So let's see, let's pick a state that has a lot of dental schools. Good old California. So if we click on California, so here it is filtered by California, and you will see just a list of dental schools offered in California. Now, let's say you want to see just public schools. You have an amazing application and you have pretty much done your part throughout your 4 years. You're an extremely great applicant and you are not 100% sure that you want to consider private schools. So you can just filter by public schools. You can also just filter by private or private state related. Or, you can just look at all of them. You also have a targeted enter in class. Maybe you're a person, again, who's very selective and you work better in smaller classes. You're not looking for these huge classes where you're just going to fall into the population because maybe you don't feel comfortable that way. Maybe you went to a small college. I mean, it happens. Or you love a big setting and you love talking to people and getting to know people and you like the idea of having a lot of classmates. You can filter by that as well. You can filter through total science DAT score. And this is cool because if you've already taken your DAT, you can see the ranges of the school. It's not just let's say what the mean is, which when I look at other places, for example, I have friends who are applying to med school or DO school, and a lot of the PDFs that they have, it's like the mean of those schools rather than the ranges. So I'll show you what I mean by that. And then you have filtering by science GPA, and then we did state, territory, or province. So let's just click on one of these, right? Let's click on this. So this is a popular school that a lot of people apply to. They show you what combined degree programs are offered by the school, what they prefer your preparation is, your minimum preparation preferred, and then the number of first-year enrollees. So like let's say here, 85 of them have their baccalaureate and then 5 have their master's. So you can see maybe if you're a master's applicant, you can see how friendly a school is to master's applicants. You can see how important it is for them to have you have your bachelor's rather than apply with just the prereqs and the 90 semester credits. You can also see what the required prereqs are. And all of these prereqs are already checked off with the school. So it's like you can come to one place rather than searching 1,000 school websites. But of course, I always recommend searching the school websites because that's where you're going to find out the tone of voice of that school and if they really fit the type of clinician that you want to be and your personality. So it's really, really important that you don't just use this. Make sure you go to the schools as well. But as you can see recommended, required, any notes, special notes. Really important. You can also see if they accept AP credits, which for me, there are some schools that I applied to this cycle which don't accept AP credits for English. It's stressful because I already took all of my histories and English and languages and everything like that and a bunch of other stuff in high school. That was the whole point. I did IB and AP. So definitely check that. And some schools are being less lenient about, things like English and sciences. Also very important, if you started out at a junior college, a community college, you want to see if the school accepts community college credits, especially for prerequisites. And the AP credits accepted, you can see in the notes, for example, the school says that it's only partially fulfilled. And I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it means that you can only, AP out of the first intro class, whatever that is. But you can figure out, and that's when you can start forming some questions and calling them. You can also see what they recommend for shadowing. This school didn't give a specific amount of hours, but there are other schools who do. And here is for the DAT. It's obviously mandatory. Do they accept the Canadian DAT? No. So if you're Canadian and you're thinking about applying to the school, should you be thinking about taking the American DAT? Probably. So, or you might not waste your money applying to the school because they don't accept your Canadian DAT and you don't want to take two. And then you can already see if they will consider your application before your DAT scores are submitted, meaning, I guess, unofficial scores. And it shows you which DAT scores are considered. Also, because I know that there are some schools that will pick and choose from your DATs, and merge them together. Like, they'll choose your best scores. There's very, very, very few schools that do that. And then here is what they consider the oldest DAT and then the most recent one. And the application timetable that they have, really important that you guys look at what their deadlines are. Every school has a different deadline. So maybe you're in a position where you're applying later in the cycle and you are really strong in your application and you don't feel that applying later is going to be as much of an issue. Definitely check the filing date, because every school's submission date is different. And then they just describe here what your options are once you receive an acceptance, depending on what day, pre-December or post-December. You also can already see what the deposit is going to be. You can also see if it will be applied to tuition. I never clicked on a school, or I've never been interested in a school that said no, that it's not applied to tuition, but maybe it happens. There's a lot of schools that I didn't consider, so I wouldn't know. But you can see if there's a fee waiver available and what the amount is for their supplemental application, so you can already start seeing how much money you need to save, because it's not just a regular application where you pay $245 for your first application and then $99 for the following applications. That's just primaries. Then for your supplemental applications, every school has a different fee, so that's where you can find out what that is. So once you compile your list, you not only know what your primary application fees are, but you can already know what your supplementary fees will be, and you can save accordingly. And then here is the application process information, where it lets you know everything you need to know about their application process, as far as like if you should be missing anything. It lets you know the interview process as well, residency requirements. This is an important part, because you might be looking at stuff out of state and you want to see if they give a preference to in-state applicants. And there are some schools that I applied to that do give a preference to in-state applicants. I think maybe only one. But you obviously, if you're out of state, you want to click the ones that say no. Unless you really love that school and you've had a lot of communication with the school and you have really great stats. So I mean, I think we all have pretty good stats if we're applying at this point, but what I mean is, like, you have exceptional stats to overcome an in-state preference. So here is the entering class data, which is awesome. You get to see race and ethnicity applicants, as well as gender, and then how many of those actually enrolled. You also get to see residency. This school does not actually list the number interviewed, but I'm going to click on another school to show you guys where you can see that, and you can see your odds. You can also see how many from each state came through. And then this is awesome, because you can see ranges of DAT scores. You see the mean, right? And then you can see the ranges. So the lowest academic average they accepted was a 19. So if you're lower than that, you might not want to apply to the school. You can see that their perceptual ability was 18. And then look at their highest. So you can see where you fall in the range of their competitiveness. And every year something can change. So by all means, take your chances. But this gives you a better idea of where you should be spending your money. Same thing with GPA. And then you will see something really important, costs. But I feel like you should be looking at this once in the beginning, and then actually really looking at this once you're towards the end. And definitely once you get accepted, you want to be looking at this table a lot. And you want to be figuring out what your options are. So when you're planning about how you're going to make your payments for dental school through loans, government loans, and private loans. If you want to do that, then you want to go ahead and refer to this. And they also list other information about student life, because a lot of the schools have some of the same things: the mentoring, the tutoring, academic counseling, things like that. Externships, which can be very popular among students. And so if you want to have the ability to just go out and practice somewhere else for your clinical years, maybe your 4th year, you want to check if a school has that, you can do so. And then if you're an international graduate, this is awesome as well, because it shows you what their information for international dental graduate programs is. So right here you can see if it's open to international students and if there's an advanced standing program offered for international dental graduates. And lastly, you have pre-dental programs that they might have that you can go ahead and check out. But this is awesome. This is an amazing tool. Let me see if when I click one of the other California schools, it'll show like another interview. Let's see, University of Pacific. Let's see if it has the interview rates. Okay, so right here. So this is what I was talking about. You have number of applicants, so you can see already an average of how many people are interested in this program. And then you can see an average of how many interviews are given and how many fill the class. So you can see the odds for the school are pretty good when you think about the amount of people that were interviewed. I hope that you guys liked this little walkthrough. I'll probably do walkthroughs of other things, but this was an amazing resource that I wish I would have had earlier. This really just came out recently, but you guys can use it to the best of your ability now and for anything that you might be considering, for any states, any situation. And I hope this helps and encourages you, because you want to go ahead and use as many resources as possible to help you make the best decisions for your situation. And if there is a program that helps you do this, why not? Definitely like, share, and subscribe. And if you guys want to see something specifically, or if you have any questions, please let me know. I would be more than happy to answer them. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later.